So for this week's video assignment, I decided to do a PowerPoint presentation I had already put together for lattice multiplication. Figured something that many people know about, or they don't understand it, or they just think it's completely crazy and just a weird waste of time to actually solve a multiplication equation. So I went ahead and I just put together a little PowerPoint for it. It kind of goes like step by step as to what you actually need to do to use the lattice multiplication method to solve your problem. This is a basic outline of what lattice multiplication looks like. It's a box with boxes inside of it with lines in it. Seems difficult, but it really isn't that difficult. It's just basically breaking down the multiplication problem into smaller multiplication problems. So it's a little bit easier to figure out. And then with the keeping in the math event of the week, at least for myself, there was always that one guy we were warned about in our math equations in math class who always, for whatever reason, bought 60 watermelons. Never could wonder why. Don't know why I thought about the guy either today, but I thought about him anyways. But anyways, moving on. So today I'm just going to show you how you would multiply using lattice multiplication. So as an example, trying to find out and solve 42 times 35. So to start with this, you just draw a box. It's a 2x2 box for this one, and you would put 42 on the top and 35 on the side, and it'll go on the right side. So it should look something like this. You got your boxes, 42 and 35. So there's your 2x2 box as well. Now you're going to draw your diagonal lines. The lines are going to go right to left in the boxes, diagonally across. When you're doing it on paper, you're better to go off a little bit more to the side because it kind of helps keep you straightened out with your numbers when you're adding them at the end to actually solve and get your answer. I always go below the box just a little bit just to make sure I have that extra room to keep my numbers separated. All right, so starting the first line, we're going to multiply each number together. So for the first part, we have 4 times 3. The answer is going to be 12. So you're going to put that in the 4 box, or in the first box. So you have 1 and 2. Next, we're going to multiply 2 times 3. So 6 is going to be the answer for this one. Now you're going to put this in there since it's only a single digit. Use 0 for the first number and a 6 for the second. If it's ever just a single digit number, you always have to have a 0 in there because it does have to be a double digit number. So that way you're not trying to add something that's not supposed to be there. All right, so moving on to the next line. We're going to do the same thing we did in the first line. Just instead, we're going to do the first column, second line with the second line. So it's going to be 4 times 5 for the first one. The total is 20. Now you're going to put this on the first box on the left bottom row, just like it shows here, 2, 0. Quick, simple, and done. Now we're going to do the final box. And it's going to be 2 times 5, which is 10. So 2 times 5, 10. Quick, simple, easy. Pretty much kind of go with the flow right now. All right, so now we're going to actually solve the equation itself. So when you're solving the equation, you're going to start from the bottom right, and you're going to add each of the diagonals together from right to left. So for the first one, the first line you're adding together, it's 0. You're only adding the numbers that are in that diagonal line in the boxes. The second one is 6 plus 1 plus 0 equals 7. The third box is going to be 0 plus 2 plus 2 equals 4. And then the final box, 1 plus nothing, obviously, equals 1. So the final answer that we're going to come up with is going to show up on the outside of the box. So you're going to read it from left to right, left side to the bottom. So top left to bottom right. Your answer is going to actually be 1,470. It seems like it's kind of complicated, but really it's not that difficult to actually comprehend how to do this. It's just simply breaking down the multiplication table or the multiplication equation into smaller multiplication equations. So just a few tips to remember when you're doing it. You draw the boxes in diagonal lines. That's essential, obviously. You're only adding in the diagonal lines from right to left. You're going to read your answer from left to right. And also keep in mind, it's just simplifying the equation. Now, you remember the watermelon guy? They found him. There he is. He's in all his wonders and all of his watermelons in his room. Power to him. So hopefully this was simple enough to understand and easy enough to understand. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. I can do my best to help you out and explain it further if you need me to.